Hey guys, this is Elite Phoenix. Welcome to the second official Elite Phoenix Art Photoshop tutorial for Photoshop CS3. In this tutorial, we will be covering how to design a glass watermark. Now, the difference between a glass watermark and a traditional watermark is the traditional watermark is usually going to be black text and it's going to just run across your image. In my opinion, a traditional watermark is an eyesore. Your eyes will shoot straight to that watermark and people will just ignore your artwork. With the glass watermark, by the end of this tutorial, you're going to see why it's so much better. It actually blends in very well if done correctly with your artwork, so people will focus in on your artwork and not your watermark. So with that said, let's get started. I'm going to open up a new file, so I'm going to file new. I'm going to use a width of 600 pixels, a height of 200 pixels, resolution of 72, and please make sure your background color is set to white. It makes the design of this watermark so much easier. Next thing we're going to do is set our foreground color. This is going to be the color of your overall watermark. I'm going to pick a really awesome color. I'm going to pick NVIDIA green because I'm a PC gamer and NVIDIA green is just uber elite. I'm going to select my horizontal type tool now, and feel free to use any font that you want that you think looks really good. I'm just going to use Rosewood regular 90-point font. Please make sure that your AA, which stands for anti-aliasing, is set to smooth. That is right next to the font size. With that set, I'm going to go ahead and just type my watermark in. I'm going to use Elite Phoenix. Go ahead and center this on the screen here. And click the check. The next thing you want to do is add your filters. To do this, you want to go down to your layer palette, and there's a button that says FX on it. You want to click it. When you click it, the menu is going to fly out, and you want to go up and click blending options. This is going to open your usual layer style window. So leave your blend mode to normal and change the opacity to 50%. The opacity has to be set to 50%. If it's set to anything else, you will not have a glass looking style watermark. So please set that to 50. Also, please make sure that under advanced blending options that your fill is at 100%, that all the channels are selected, that knockout is set to none, and that blend clipped layers as group and transparency shapes layers is checked. By default, the advanced blending options should be set, but just double check. Now we're going to add some filters to it. I'm going to add a drop shadow, and I'm going to change it my blend mode to darken, and I'm going to use black for the color. I'm going to set my opacity to 75%, angle at 120. Please make sure global light is checked. Change my distance to 7, my spread to 0, and my size to 5. Now from here on out, unless I say a setting has to be set, as I've said already, feel free to change it and experiment with it, because after all, this is your watermark, and it's not mine, and it needs to have your feel to it. I'm going to add an inner shadow. I'm going to change my blend mode to darken, but this time I'm going to change my color. Now what's a good color here? That looks good. Use a dark blue. 30% opacity. Angle of 120. Make sure use global light is checked. I'm going to change my distance to 7, my choke to 0, and my size to 20. I'm going to add an outer glow now. I'm going to change the blend mode here to overlay. And I'm going to change the opacity to 28%, noise at 0%, and now I'm going to change the overall color. Here I'm just going to use NVIDIA Green again. And make sure that it is the single solid square, not the going to transparency. Elements, I'm going to set technique to softer. I'm going to change my spread to 0% and change my size to 10 pixels. We're about done here. I'm going to check bevel and emboss, and I'm going to change the style to pillow emboss. Technique will be set to smooth. I'm going to change my depth to something that looks nice, so in this case 200%. I'm going to change the direction so it looks a little bit cleaner. I'm going to change that from up to down. I'm going to change the size to 10 pixels, put soften at 0 pixels, and as far as shading is concerned, I'm going to use an angle of negative 45 degrees. I'm going to use global light, and I'm going to change the altitude to 67. I'm going to go and change my gloss contour to an inverted cone, which is the third option, and I'm going to check anti to make it look a little bit cleaner. I'm going to change my highlighting mode to color dodge and use the color of white. I'm going to change the opacity to 22%, and for shadow mode I'm going to change that to overlay, and leave black for the overlay. And for the opacity on that, I'm going to change it to 100%. And I'm going to add one more filter, and that is the contour. For contour, I'm going to use the default, which is linear. I'm going to make sure anti is not checked and use a range of 100%. And when you click OK, it'll apply all the filters, and you will have your glass watermark in all its glory. What I'm going to do now is show you how to go about actually incorporating the glass watermark into a piece of artwork. So I'm just going to open up some artwork here. This will look awfully familiar to those of you that seen the first tutorial, as this is the background that we designed in it. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that and drag it down so we can see the glass watermark. With the mover tool selected, we're just going to click and drag it down somewhere onto the artwork that we want the watermark on. And you'll notice as I move the watermark around, it's going to acquire the background colors of the artwork, thus emphasizing the fact that it is a glass watermark. So there you have it. There's how to create a very simple glass watermark. So thank you for watching, and tune in next time.